Hello and welcome back to the channel. Here we go. Captain America Brave New World review. Let's get into it. So, Captain America Brave New World is directed by Julius Onah. It stars Anthony Mackie, who is returning as Sam Wilson, now Captain America. It stars Harrison Ford and Danny Ramirez. The film, Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, is now the new Captain America after the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He is finding his footing and is on a mission to retrieve a mysterious weapon. He, and the help of his partner Joaquin Torres, manages to successfully obtain this and defeat all the bad guys in the process, but not without running into a character called Sidewinder, one of the sellers of the weapon. The buyer doesn't show, so he changes his plans but runs into Sam. Sam defeats him and secures the weapon and hands the weapon to the president. The president is Thaddeus Ross, who you may remember from The Incredible Hulk a few years back, and he is back now as president, who has recently been elected and working on a treaty with regards to the celestial being that randomly appeared in the Indian Ocean. The weapon that Sam had recovered is revealed to be a rare metal called adamantium, who some of you may recognize. And there is a worldwide struggle for power for this rare metal. Tensions rise in the political world, while also for the president himself, struggling with his health and his anger at times. As a result of the successful mission, Sam, Joaquin, and Isaiah are invited to the White House. Isaiah, if you may recall, was a character from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who Sam finds out was the original super soldier whom they first tried the serum on. During the presentation about the adamantium and the treaty by the president, suddenly Isaiah pulls a gun and starts shooting at the president, and is not the only one doing so. When the dust settles and the president is taken to safety, it's up to Sam to figure out what is going on and who is behind the attacks and who wants to stop this treaty from happening. He discovers that the person behind all the attacks is the buyer of the weapon is actually Samuel Stearns, who uses mind control on his victims to make them do his bidding. I've got to be honest, the film certainly had its moments that I truly did enjoy, but ultimately there are too many times where this film really sort of let itself down. What I felt was good about the film was that they married Sam Wilson's storyline with Thaddeus Ross's, melding them together. It would have been nice to have a standalone Sam Wilson storyline with his own villains, with his own story, with his own characters that he has to fight off. But for some reason, they went with this direction, and from the Incredible Hulk, from Ed Norton's Incredible Hulk. So that's the direction that they went. I liked the fact that they actually loosely mentioned Age of Ultron and the Sokovia Accords, a nice little callback to that movie, as well as the prison that they all go to at the end there, where all the Avengers are being held. There was some great fight scenes as well that I thought were really good. The prison scene where we see character Ruth Bat Seraph, who earlier in the film was teased that she was a former student of the Red Room, where they train the Black Widows. This is actually the character who was Harrison Ford, President Thaddeus Ross's head of security in the Secret Service, who we then later on find out that she was in fact part of the Red Room. And her fight scene certainly sort of felt very similar to the one that introduced Natasha Romanoff's character, Scarlett Johansson, way back in Iron Man 2. Very, very similar sort of scenes. Again, a nice little sort of callback. I must admit, in this film, they do borrow from all sorts of different kinds of Marvel films that have come out, which is either a good or a bad thing. I haven't really sort of decided yet. But it would have been nice to have Sam's own story. It was kind of cool that Sam actually donned the Captain America suit for the first time and was actually quite good. And also like the fact that they finally acknowledged the celestial being that randomly appeared out of nowhere at the end of the Eternals about 50 million years ago, it seems. Seems ages away since that film came out. I always thought it was a bit odd that in the most recent films, nobody acknowledged the fact that there was this big celestial being in the Indian Ocean just randomly chilling. Okay then. Okay. It wasn't all good. I must confess. I have some thoughts. First of all, first point of call is how fucking bad the prosthetics and the makeup were on Tim Blake Nelson. Holy shit, it was bad. They literally just slapped on a bit of green paint, some prosthetics on his head, with no care or attention to it. Just literally like, here you go, job done. That's good enough. So I don't know what they were thinking when they were doing that. I had to look away at the cinema screen, not because it was scary, but because I felt embarrassed for them, to be honest with you. So yeah, that makeup job on the main villain could have been done much, much better. There were several shots that looked like they did it in the back of someone's shed, with some possibly some of the worst green screen shots I've ever seen in my life. It looks so obvious and it's shoddy work, and looked like they just copied and pasted Sam Wilson onto the screen. Didn't even actually look like they were outside. The scene where Red Hulk is staring down at Sam, it just looks so cheap and nasty and not good quality from a film of this magnitude. And there were a few of those, but that was the one that was most notable to me. The CGI from the Red Hulk transformation was taken straight out of a Lou Ferrigno playbook. No disrespect to Lou Ferrigno, but it felt very dated. I don't know if they were trying to reference that style of Hulk transformation, but it just looked, very old-fashioned, I would say. Also, on the story front, if you have a mind control problem, your first port of call would be to, I don't know, ask for some help from somebody who has literally gone through this whole mind control issue before in the past. Your best friend, who has literally changed his life completely as a result of it. And you don't call him? He's right there. Literally, he could solve all your problems. But instead, spoiler alert, he just comes in to be a soundboard for Sam Wilson to air out all his problems of his performance. It's like, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't have been handed the shield, blah, blah, blah. I should have the serum, which he says several times. is so bizarre. You know, he's got all this technology at his disposal that he could use to really help him, that he can use to enhance his performance. And he, yet he still wants to have the serum. This suit that he's got is literally the most powerful piece of technology that they have that were able to help defeat them, and yet nothing comes of it. It's like, oh, really? Okay. Um, the reason why the super serum worked so well on Steve Rogers was mainly because of his character, his good values. Sam, whether it is a good or a bad thing, unfortunately, he is like a modern man who has modern behaviors and would succumb to the effects of the serum. It's not his fault. He was born at a time where there are lots of temptations and a lot of other things in the world that can sway someone into doing something terrible or either something good. And it's just, it's, you know, people can flick of a switch quite easily. Um, so I don't know. It's just, yeah, yeah, it's bizarre. Also, on another note, because we're dealing with a Red Hulk, um, you know, you suspect that they might call on the foremost expert on Hulk and Hulkisms, Bruce Banner, maybe? Might want to call him as well for some help. Did they do that? No. Like either Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, Ed Norton, take your pick. You've got enough of them. They're going to help. They didn't, you know, the cameos that they have in this made hardly any impact whatsoever that I think that they were hoping for. Yeah, it was nice that they were there and they acknowledged them, but that's all they were. At least in my opinion, anyway. Um, Overall, should you watch it, shortlist it, or wait until it goes on Disney Plus? And I think you're going to know what I'm going to say already. You guessed it. Wait until it comes on Disney Plus. Sounds harsh, I know, but this film just doesn't really feel like a Captain America film. It's not really a standalone Sam Wilson story. It has all these other elements that are coming into play from various different Marvel films in the hopes of rescuing this film, this franchise. It doesn't have the elements of intrigue and spy thriller aspect that Captain America, like a Winter Soldier, had. It was much lower stakes with those earlier movies and was leading up to something. Here it feels very much like I said, sort of like a standalone singular movie. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere at all. It doesn't even have a tag on the mid-credit scene advertising something like Thunderbolts. Like, you teed it up sort of perfectly by bringing in Bucky Barnes, maybe not to like help or anything, but like at least you got him in there in the film. You know, the least you can do is like at the mid-credit scene add a teaser to the Thunderbolts film to get us excited for it and just to really get us in the mood and get us going again. That was what's so good about the first 10 years of the Marvel series. They always had these little teasers at the end of each film, which really got us going and connected all the stories. That's what I think they should go back to. It would have made sense to do that, but did they? No. I don't know what's happening at Marvel right now. You know, for some reason they're going in a different phase at the moment, and they are very hit and miss right now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't all bad, like I said. Like there were some great action sequences, and there were some great character moments, especially with Sam and Isaiah, with those personal moments calling back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, his relationship with Isaiah was really good, and he was sort of like his moral center. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling on. Let me know what you guys think of the film, if you've seen it or not, or it would be interesting to get the conversation going on what's next for Marvel, what's going to happen in the future with future films coming up. I mean, we've got Thunderbolts, like I said, we've got the new Fantastic Four trailer, which was released not that long ago. So they got things going. So who knows? I don't really know what the future holds, but let me know what you think in the comments and chat. As always, please like and subscribe to my channel. It means a great deal, and I shall see you in the next video.